Hello, my name is Andrew Thate from Minds and Money, and this interview is brought to you in association with Redcloud. Delighted to be joined today by Mike Blady, who's the CEO and Director of Basin Uranium. Delighted to have you with us today, Mike.
Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Mike, why should investors be looking again at uranium projects?
Well, I think overall, the world in general is making a big push to green energy with the conflicts, geopolitical conflicts going on around the world now. There's a big surge to develop and maintain safe supplies of energy resources. With the Russian conflict, a lot of the uranium that's being exported from Russia is now in danger of maybe not being supplied to the areas that it's previously been going. So we think the green energy space, and in particular uranium, domestically is going to be a big story moving forward over the coming years.
And you're phoning in from the Athabasca Basin, where one of your projects is. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we have a great project right in the heart of the Athabasca Basin. It's called Mann Lake. It's very close to McArthur River, which is the largest uranium mine on the planet. And we just finished our 2022 program where we drilled about just under 6,300 meters of diamond drilling. We hit anomalous uranium in 3 of the 8 holes we drilled, and we're looking to review that information and potentially get back to work there over 2023.
And what I like about Basin Uranium is you're not just a Canadian play, you've also recently acquired some projects in Wyoming. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, for sure. So we have 2 projects in the United States. We have the Court project, which is our most recent acquisition. It's actually in South Dakota. It's right on the border of Wyoming and South Dakota, but it is a couple miles into South Dakota. It's a really exciting project. It was owned by Union Carbide back in the 70s and 80s. Over 1,000 drill holes on it. It has a very robust historic non-43-101 resource from Union Carbide back in the day. So it adds a layer of a more developed project compared to just exploration projects. In addition to the Cord, we also have the Ray Mesa project, which we acquired last year. It's in Utah, also in a very prolific uranium area in the United States. So we really like the future of uranium in the US for several reasons. One, the USA is the largest consumer of uranium in the world. They consume about 50 million pounds per year of uranium, and they effectively have no domestic production. There's a little bit of domestic production, but for the first time in about 45 years since 3 Mile Island disaster, there is now bipartisan support for uranium exploration and development in the United States. So we think it's a great place to be.
And of course, the other great thing about your company is you've got a very strong management team. Can you tell us a little bit about your background first?
Yeah, so I'm a geologist. I've been involved in the capital markets for almost 15 years now, and we've been building out our team. We're a relatively new company. We became Basin Uranium right at the very end of 2021. So right now it's myself, Desmond Balakrishnan, who's a very esteemed securities lawyer at Macmillan, who's helped structure and bring a lot of the projects that we have in the company today. Tim Henneberry is our QP, who has a lot of experience in terms of uranium, both in Canada and abroad. And we're also making some key acquisitions of talent down in the US to help us move forward our projects in the US, from permitting to engineering. One of the things that we're really focused on is the amenability of our US projects to ISR mining, in situ recovery. It's the cleanest, greenest way to extract mineralization from the ground. So if we can prove that our projects in the US are ISR amenable, I think it will unlock a lot of value for our shareholders.
Mm-hmm. And talking of shareholders, who are your key shareholders?
So we're mostly retail shareholders currently. So we have several large shareholders in Canada, and we're looking to build our US shareholder base now as we've acquired these two great US opportunities. So right now, having shares count in the low 40 million, we're looking to add to that shareholder base and bring in some institutional and some US investors. So that'll be a big focus in 2023 here.
Mm-hmm. So along with bringing in some of those key institutional investors, what are your other sort of key milestones and targets for, say, the next 6 to 18 months?
Yeah, excellent. So currently, my main focus right now that we've closed the Cord acquisition in South Dakota, which I may note is only 3 miles from Encore's Dewey Burdock uranium project, which is scheduled to go into production in 2025. We will be focusing on getting our permitting for the Cord, which is already underway, and we're making progress there. And from that, we'll be doing a maiden drill program on the project to confirm some of the historic results, as well as to put in monitoring wells for ISR potential. So we'll be monitoring the aquifers and in relation to the deposits and to see if they are amenable to ISR mining. So typically what you need for an ISR project is you want the uranium mineralized body to be below the water table, and you want it to be reduced, so not an oxidized deposit. So, and then from there, we'll be hopefully pumping oxygenated water down, and we'll be, turning that deposit from a reduced deposit to an oxidized deposit and putting it through a water treatment plant. So I digress there a bit, but permitting, initial drilling at Cord, we've just got our full permits now for Ray Mesa in Utah. So they got a lot of snow there this winter, but we'll be getting out there as well. And then for Mann Lake, we're compiling all the data and seeing what program we'll be putting together this year at Mann Lake.
Mm-hmm. And there's one final question. There's a lot of other uranium mining companies out there. If an investor's listening to this and they want to learn what makes Basin Uranium probably stand out from your peers, what were the 1 or 2 things that you'd like to highlight?
I think a couple of things that makes us stand out from our peers are our tight share structure right now with well under 50 million shares issued and outstanding, and also our diversity of projects. We have great exploration project in the Athabasca Basin, and we also have 2 projects in the US that both have historic non-compliant resources on them, which we are in the process of updating and hopefully putting into NI 43-101 category, which to me will unlock significant shareholder value because they're historic right now. We can't really go around and say we have millions and millions of pounds of uranium in the ground, but there is a relatively inexpensive and clear roadmap to get to that goal.
Mm-hmm. And if investors listening in want to check out Basin Uranium a little bit more, what's your website and what's your company ticker?
Yeah, so the website is basinuranium.ca, and the company ticker is NCLR on the Canadian Securities Exchange.
Well, Mike, it's been a pleasure having you on Mines and Money TV today. This interview was brought to you in association with Redcloud. Thank you very much for your time, Mike.
Thanks again. Always a pleasure.